You don't even know the horns.
Whatever. Sick. Get out of my face. Images. I know that we were wanting to do kind of more of like Sauron and stuff on the outside and then Treebeard on the inside. I have something composed for the upper arm. It's just slightly different than your original idea, but these are the shapes that I thought flowed the best. This is when I get your opinion. You can tell me you love it, you hate it, want to change any of it or all of it. This is just kind of what I'm thinking as far as the shapes and the flow and stuff. But we'll start here and go from there. So this is something like what I was thinking. I want to play around with your lower forearm a bit more. I also want to, if you like this, I want to print it out and see exactly where it lays first. But I was thinking something like this for your upper arm. I know that we want the eye in there. I'm still playing around with that. The thing that I was finding that was a little tricky was that a lot of the images of Sauron and the eye were very stagnant.
Yeah.
And I'm all about like the flow. I wanted to like really move on your arm. But I want to make sure that like we're hitting the mark with you as far as like the vision that you were wanting, you were going for and thinking about, you know.
Yeah.
We just have to find that compromise of like what I think is visually best and like what you want to have as far as like telling the story and like the imagery and stuff goes. So what's your opinion on perhaps having something like this down there?
I'm not against it.
Okay.
To be honest, the whole entire thing has blown my mind already and has surpassed any vision I had in my mind. So
success. Cool.
So yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay. How about we print this out first?
Okay.
Because I'm way more sold on this. We'll see these shapes and how it lays. Hi. And then we'll see what space we have left over, I mean. Because also, you have a long arm.
Yeah.
So I want to see how long this is on your arm compared to how much space we have right here. Yeah. So give me just a few minutes. I'm going to print this out a couple different sizes, and we may need to like move him down a little bit, move him up, space it out a little bit, but we're just going to start here and go from there.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
I am about to be tattooing Sauron and Balrog from Lord of the Rings. We are doing a full sleeve, and my client is wanting some evil spooky guys on the outside, and then he's wanting Treebeard, which is the big tree guy from Lord of the Rings, on the inside. If you've seen the movies, you know. If not, educate yourself. What are you doing? This fits nicely. I like it better than the smaller version. We're going to need to make sure that that clears. I may grab this horn and just like tilt it in just the slightest bit so it's not like tucked into your armpit as much. But I think that this one works better than
the smaller one.
And the smaller one. Let me see. I might do a nice little in between as well. I might actually keep him this size and then grab him. Let me try and do a little cutting to see if I can just look real quick without having to reprint it all out. All right, and then turn to the side so you can see it a little bit more. I like his head better there. The other one was just like too big. It's not going to be this dark either when I tattoo it. It's going to be dark because he's like a dark, scary guy, but it's not going to be that dark. But the bigger one was just like way too much. And then I like him here. And then I like how the arm comes down and stuff. I like how it swoops down. I'm digging that. But overall, and then like turn a little bit more to the front so you can see that part. That horn clears better there. This shape just fits your anatomy nicer. So I like these shapes. I think that that's great. How do you feel about that?
It's going to look sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. It was another one of Sauron, and I was like, should I just design something just to show him and be so serious about it? I heart Mordor with the coffee cup. I'm like, isn't this exactly what you want? Why, like, I heart Mordor on it. So that's what I was thinking, was that we do the shapes And then maybe just add a little bit of texture in there.
Yeah.
Maybe not all
Not
of
all
that.
of it, yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I think that also it'll give it a little bit more room to breathe. Like, okay, for instance, I grabbed this arm from another image to put on him because I liked this shape of his body, but I liked this arm. So this, I think, is a lot better. Like how it's like not as much like you know, but it's still got a little bit of stuff on it. Like you can tell it's almost like, you know how like they like hit the metal and stuff to like form it and stuff. I feel like that reads better. I'm gonna get the fuzzies off your arm, and then we're gonna place a stencil, and then like I said, we're gonna let it dry for a hot minute. Oh, and also, do we want to keep or are we gonna cover?
Keep if you can.
Yeah.
Keep if you can. If you have to cover, I can move it someplace else.
Yep. Okay. Cool. I might move him. I'm gonna lay it all on together and then see from there, but he may be a little too far over, so I may just grab him and bring him over. Definitely gonna move him over back just a smidge. I also think we still may need to make him just a tad bit smaller so we get that horn. I want to make sure that we get this horn because the back horn back there, you really can't see it too well. So I want to make sure that this one is on there. You see how this is just like a little, like this is the eyes, the mouth, the chin. See how the horn would just be like here?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be better if we just make him smaller.
A little smaller.
Like 10, 15% smaller. That way he's a little bit more over, but then the horn's going to be in view. Because I like how big he is. Like, he's great.
Yeah.
And
main
then,
character.
Yeah, main character energy. We don't need him to be as big. That I would rather leave open for opportunity. Just like this, I think we'll probably leave open for now. It's just like a blurry battle scene back there. I want to have the opportunity to blend something here.
Right.
So it's not just this and this. It might be in the future, but this is just like a nice little chunk of space that we could add something, possibly. So yeah. But overall, I think that it is super nice. I like where the hand is. I like where he's at. I like that you have something to look at here, look at on the back and on the front. And then we'll have something nice to look at on the front there as well. I feel like my clients who do have like new babies or a bunch of kids, I'm like, oh, is there a certain time you need to be out of here? And they're like, no, you can keep me as long as you want. We can be here till tomorrow. I'm fine. They're just like watching movies, sleeping, just like living their best life. Every time I'm like, are you okay? They're like, I'm fantastic. Don't you worry about me. I am good to go. So a commonly asked question that I do get from my clients and other artists is, how in the hell do I read these blobby stencils? And I say, it's magic. I'm just kidding. It's like a complex puzzle. So obviously you see lots of purple, lots of stuff going on, and it can be overwhelming. This is what the actual reference looks like as far as the tattooing goes. I run it through Ghostline. Ghostline, love you guys. And this is what it comes up with. Obviously, it spreads a little bit when it gets onto the skin, which is okay. But the way I like to do it is I'll have the stencil here, and then I'll also have the image right underneath. And if I ever get lost in an area or I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'll just zoom in. Say it's like this pizza shaped triangle that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't understand. I have the stencil right here. I have the image as well. I put the stencil on multiply. That way I can see the image underneath. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. It's on my layers. I flatten it. And then I just go like this to see the shapes. And it's just like a puzzle. I'm like, these squiggles. Okay, what is this squiggle? I'll turn this off. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's this shape. And I found that when I get really lost and I just don't know where to go, do the things that you know are easiest. So if you know that this shape is going to be easier on the stencil, which is right here on the tattoo, do everywhere around it. And then the things that are going to be less easier to read, it kind of just, it's like a crossword. Fill in all the letters of the other words that you know. And then by the end of it, instead of having 10 spaces, you only have 2 or 3 spaces left to figure out. So it's a lot easier. Same with a puzzle. There's always going to be those few puzzle pieces that you're like, what the heck is this piece? But when you fill it all in around it, it just fits right in where it's supposed to go. So this is what I was just explaining, and I will show you now. I'm going to just add some hard lines specifically around the hand so that it stands forward in the foreground instead of having it all on the same plane. And then I'm also going to do a few washes on some of the armor. I want to keep the detail, but do a few washes just to make sure that it's pushed back in space and this is pushed forward. And that's mainly what I'm going to do. And then also with sleeves, I like to let it heal, see how it looks healed, and then go from there to see if we need to push things back, bring things forward with white, and or doing darker washes in the background. But for now, I'm just going to do what I see, let it heal, and then go from there with like fine-tuning little details in the future. All right, guys, it's day 2. I am just cleaning up a stencil right now. We are going to work on some heads today. I'm going to do Sauron's head as well as Balrog's head on the top, and he'll be here in a couple minutes for me to stencil it and get started.
I don't think I can commit to doing like beer league right now, but I want to still do drop in. So it feels very 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
If people show up.
It's pretty perfect. Pretty perfect.
You don't even know the words.
It's a knee slapper.
A knee slapper.
Whatever. I'm sick of your shit. Sick. Get out of my face.
Oh.
I learned.
Shout out Leg.
Leg would be proud. Wait. Is it worse? Okay, so when you are re-stenciling something, but you already have like a stencil or subject matter that you don't want the stencil to get on, it is super important that you apply the stencil stuff everywhere, but apply it around the edges. For example, we have Sauron's horn things, and I don't want stencil to blob all over that. So I'm going in between with my fingers and just kind of like pressing it in those little tiny open areas. So in theory, if you're really clean about it, none of this purple will have stencil on top of it. It'll remain untouched. And that way, it's not just a blobby mess and it's super annoying and stuff. So in theory, if you do it right, that's a little pro tip, life hack. So see how he like fits on your shoulder cap super well? So we're losing a bit more of the mouth, but he's not main character. He's main character energy. So I want him to almost look like he's like peeking behind, like he's like coming as backup, but I don't want them to be fighting for attention. But that horn fits way better right there. And then this is just going to be like soft shading in here. Those are the flames that I'll just do like soft shading above it. And then same on the back of your arm. We're just going to do like some soft like shading. Kind of like smoky, like debris. All right, guys, it's a wrap for our first 2 sessions on this Lord of the Rings sleeve. Check out the progress. We have plenty more to go in the future, but we got a lot done in the 2 days, lots of detail. I'm very excited to keep working on this in the future, but for now, check it out. Hope you like it.